Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back.
We can't save every woman that we meet. We can't. We can't help. We can't benefit. We can't provide financial support. We can't be there physically and mentally for every woman that we meet. Because all of these women, whether they're Western or not, they want a man that's going to provide. They want a man that's going to take care of them. They don't want to work. They don't want to work hard. They want clothes and shoes. They want to be able to shop. They want to be able to take pictures and videos on Instagram. But we can't save every woman that we meet. And I'll give you something to think about. If you meet a woman and she does not have a job, she's not working, she's not getting up in the morning, taking a shower, getting in her car or motorbike, or getting on a train and going to work. What do you think she does for a living? And I was talking to someone in the Dominican Republic, actually the person that sent me that video. And she said, "Hey, you met so and so, da da da. Was she working when you met her?" I was like, "No." She was like, "What do you think she was doing for money?" And I paused. Hmm. Hmm. I never thought about that because some of us men are too blind to what we see, the physical aspects of these women, the curviness of these women, that we don't understand that she's probably selling a service. She's probably selling a part of her body to make ends meet. And I was foolish because I'm like, oh man, it's rude to ask her what she does for a living. It's rude to ask her how she makes money, how she has income coming in. Man, but she always has time. I'm here for a week. She's free 6 days out of this week. She always has time. She's always free. Why is this woman always free? And I'm not going to say I have or I have not, but I have not intentionally dated anyone that was selling services before or during our relationship. You are the prize. And I was dating this one bum, you can see her in my narcissist playlist on my homepage. I was dating this one bum, and I feel like she loved bomb me. She put juju on me to where I was blind. Now we were together maybe a year, a little over a year, whatever it was, and she lived in one country and I lived in another. And people gonna say, "Wow, y'all lived in two different countries." Mm, but it's Europe. If you've been to Europe, you can get in your car, you can drive to 5 countries. You get on a short plane, you can be on from one country to another in 45 minutes. You can get on a short train. You can get on a train and go to sleep. Wake up, you're in another country. You could have passed through one country, get into that country. So in Europe, it might be a little bit different. So when you hear me say she was in another country, she was about 6 hours away driving. But I digress. But I did this one bum, and when I met her, she worked at a retail shop, right? When I think retail and fast food, I think, hey, teenagers. That's what I did when I was a teenager. But I don't think someone 27, 28, 29 years old It's their profession. And I tried to boost her. I tried to put her in school. I said, hey, apply for school. Why don't you start taking some college classes? And I brought it up maybe a week later, and she was like, oh, you didn't find a school? You told me I could go to school, but you didn't find me one. And she tried to do the little reverse psychology. Take no accountability, responsibility. So she wanted me to tell her I was going to pay for school, but I was supposed to do all the legwork. I was supposed to apply for the school. I was supposed to find a school and everything for her. At that point, I knew she was not serious about taking her life, her future. Serious. And we were together for X amount of time, and she never cooked for me. Surprisingly, huh? But I feel like, I've done a whole video series on this clown. I'm not trying to do another one yet. But I feel like a lot of women love bombs. And I'm going to tell you how a lot of women get us, men. Ground and pound. Right? And me and this young lady, we had activities the second date. I went up to see it. We was at a club in Eindhoven, Netherlands, actually. And that was it. That was it. And I wasn't even trying. Took zero effort whatsoever. I forgot how it went. I talked about it in another video. But I will say something to the effect of, going home, you want to go home, or you going back to your house? And she was like, my house? No, I'm going back with you, or something along those lines. Don't quote me on it, but I it's in another video what she said, like, man, I didn't have to work for this. This was easy. And it was like you thought you was with a porn star. And a lot of women in a lot of these countries are love bombing us with ground and pound. And you're like, man, this is something special. And when they're love bombing us with that ground and pound, we're forgetting they don't have a job. We're forgetting they have a bad job. We're forgetting they're not educated. We're forgetting they don't bring nothing to the table. We're forgetting they can't cook. We forget they don't clean. We forgetting they leave toothpaste in the sink. We forget that they don't flush the toilet. And I've talked about this before. I don't know what it is about Dominican women, but they don't like flushing the toilet. I don't know what it is. Like, Dominican women do not like flushing the toilet. And someone explain it to me. Someone tell me. I don't know. But every time I have a Dominican woman at my place, like 90% of the time when they have to pee, they don't flush the toilet. But anyway, I digress. They don't like flushing the toilet. It's like when women are love bombing us with the ground and pound, we forget that they're bombs. We forget that they're dirtbags. And this woman was like, oh, I'm the catch. Yeah, for me to bust. But you have no future. And a lot of women think that their future is based off of their looks, but their looks is going to, one, fade, but their looks aren't going to keep a man, because that man that thinks you're cute is going to think someone else is cute. And men have to have some incentive to be faithful. I want to repeat that again. Men have to have some incentive to be faithful. You can't save every cute, beautiful woman that you meet. Men, passport bros, travelers, gentlemen, guys, friends. You can't save every woman that you meet. And trying to save every woman that you meet is going to deplete your bank account. I could have a used Lamborghini right now if I didn't get into a relationship with Vanessa. If I didn't get into a relationship with my wife. if I didn't get into a relationship with African Queen, my Ugandan princess, those three people alone for sure cost me 90,000. Those three, you taking trips and vacations, it costs money. And I know, the last clown, she's taking at least 2 vacations or whatever with I don't know what she found this guy at a gas station or something. Probably found him in a gas station, working at a gas station or grocery store or something. I don't know. But I know she's taken 2 trips at least, right? But check this out. Me and the last clown, we went to Miami, right? We went to the USA. Then we went to the Dominican Republic. We went to Albania. We went to Spain. That's it. No, it's not. I met her in Portugal. We went to the Netherlands. We drove there, which really isn't far from her place. That's like 6. It could be 7 because I met her in London just to fly to Miami because the flights were cheaper and it was convenient for her. Her and that man aren't going to 6 countries. You can minus 1 country and say the Netherlands don't count because those close to her. Cool. Still 5. African Queen and I, we went to Tanzania. We went to Indonesia. We went to Malaysia. We went to Singapore, Tanzania, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. I flew her and her mother to Rwanda. We went to Uganda, where she's from. So African Queen went to 5 countries. Vanessa went to 5 countries. And I go to their pages every now and then just to give me some kind of happiness and peace that they can't replace what they had. And they try. These women try to put on smiles and happy faces and look like they're having a good time. But I know these women like the back of my hand. They're smiling, but they're sad inside. They're thinking about me because I set the bar so high that unless he's in the NBA, the NFL, he plays soccer, he plays football, he's just a stupid guy like I was. It's going to be extremely difficult to replace the things that I did. And women's, it's not about the money. It's not about the things that you do. It's not about finances. Yeah, you are a liar. You're a liar. And these 2 women might go on and find men, but they're not going to find a man that's like me. They're not going to find a man that gives them debit cards and credit cards and puts money in their account. They're not going to find that. Make yourself irreplaceable, but don't be stupid trying to save these women. I frequently have said that men should be providers. But I frequently must say that women are taking advantage of our natural provider instinct. Come on, repeat that again. Women are taking advantage of our natural provider instinct. As a man, you should be a provider. But as a man, you should also be a little bit more particular, a little bit more picky, a little bit more selective about who you are providing for. And I've used this example in the past. Let's just say I'm in a relationship and I'm providing and I'm doing 100%. I'm doing what a man should, quote unquote, do. I get into a motorcycle accident and I can't work for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. Who's going to cover down? Who's going to buy groceries? Who's going to pay the electricity bill? Who's going to pay the mortgage? Who's going to pay the water bill? Who's going to pay the cell phone bill? Who's going to put gas in the car? Who's going to pay for the haircuts? Who's going to cut the grass? And I can't say that any woman that I've ever dated could cover down in the case of an emergency. And we have to stop thinking short term. Short term is she's beautiful, she's attractive, I can make it work. Long term is what if? What if things go wrong? What if I can't provide? What if I get into an accident? What if I get a disease? What if I'm sick? Who's going to be able to cover down financially? Who's going to be able to pay for those children's school? Who's going to be able to pay for that babysitter? And a lot of my life, a lot of our lives, we are finding ourselves chasing beauty. We're finding ourselves chasing beauty with women that have no ambition, no drive, no desire to better themselves. And I've said this early in the video. My last ex, I wanted to put her in school. I said, hey, find a school, or let's take some college classes. You can take some easy, just get your foot in the door with education in college. I know you haven't been. All she did was make excuses. If you're going to find someone, if you're going to be with someone, if you're going to fall in love, if you're going to get married, ensure that you are with someone that just in case things don't go well, just in case something happens to you, she is still able to provide for that family. She is still able to provide for those children. And I've said this, African queen, she lived with me, she didn't work, but she had ambition. We started businesses. She wanted to do lotion, she wanted to do oil, she wanted to do candles, she wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I supported her. Support a woman that supports herself. I want to repeat that again. Get a pen, get a piece of paper. Support a woman that supports herself. Because a woman that doesn't support herself can't support you. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.